He's probably the best mechanical player in the game.
He's probably like the most talented player I've ever seen.
He might even be forced out of this corner here. He's going to eat a lot of damage. TenZ will get two.
Can Mazzino hold his nerve? TenZ on the cross. He gets him.
TenZ is Valorant's biggest star. From competing to content, he's dominated the scene from the very start. But his stardom has become a double-edged sword, as TenZ has received scrutiny unlike any other Valorant pro. Told by the people who've joined him on his Valorant journey, this is TenZ's story. TenZ's esports career began in CSGO, a walking highlight reel on the FPL servers. He was pretty much destined for a career at the top. But when it came to trying out for teams, things didn't always go to plan.
I think I first met him back in 2018, I think. I was coaching Dignitas at that time. Funny enough, when we tried him out the first time, it was actually like pretty horrible. You know, he's a really, really good kid. I don't think he has any bad intentions ever, but he would like fall asleep during practice and just like really not be like focused. I remember we were going over something on like Overpass for like 45 minutes. All of a sudden I go, "Hey Tyson, did you get that? You know what you're doing on that?" And just no reply at all. And then he was like, "Oh, I like fell asleep with my eyes open," or something just absurd.
However, his mechanical skill was too much for teams to ignore, and before long, NA Giants Cloud9 came calling. But things just didn't work out.
There's still a gap and there's a chance and dapr is going to get taken out. This could be disastrous. 1 versus 1. They're isolated the flames. This is disastrous for Cloud9. Surely not like this. Mixwell 1 versus 5. It's not going to happen.
In October 2019, just over 3 months after he joined, TenZ was surprisingly dropped from the roster. He had to wait 6 months for Cloud9 to give him another chance. Only this time, it was in a different game entirely.
TenZ from Cloud9 here, and today I'm going to be officially announcing that I will be pursuing Valorant over Counter-Strike.
I think the biggest change was just that in Valorant, just realizing and being like, wow, I actually am like better than these players, and like I can really like win games and I can take over. Like I think just seeing it in himself is like the difference. I think in CS it was like always playing from behind because he was a newer player. He's playing on like teams that are trying to come up. He's not just like cemented in the top. I think that's really the biggest change, is like the belief in himself, like, damn, I actually am that good.
Just 3 weeks after joining Cloud9, TenZ became the first NA player to reach Valorant's highest rank. Both on his stream and in competition, TenZ was an instant superstar.
I remember watching him so many times on C9 when we play together. I'm like freaking out of my seat because the way he's playing is like giving me like crazy fucking anxiety. Like just like the way he's like peeking and the way he's moving, but he's just so good at like utilizing the agent and the kit and just like really abusing like the stuff that you can do. It's like he's gonna kill them. Like I just know he's gonna like win the round just because of like his body language.
It was basically like we knew it was TenZ and friends. It was basically him and Mitch. I felt like that were like the staple of that team. They always like would opposite stack. Like Mitch would be on one side and Tyson would be on the other. So if you're attacking, you would always just avoid, like you'd find out where their jet is and just avoid it, essentially.
But despite TenZ's insane talent and some early wins, Cloud9 struggled to establish long-term success.
It's a 4-on-4.
Get out of my way.
We'll see what C9's able to do to try to get back into this site. A front line coming out, Hunter's Fury as well being popped. Everything they've got is sent in that direction.
Ooh.
There's the pulses coming out from Dazed, and it's looking all but manageable here as T1 closes things out.
So as of right now and going forward, I'm going to be stepping down from the C9 Blue team to pursue content creation.
I wasn't surprised that he stepped down because I don't think that team was going in the direction that he felt comfortable playing anymore. And he talked to me a lot about potentially taking a break as well, even when I was still on the team. So yeah, it was not shocking to me.
And his decision to focus on content paid off. In the 2 months after stepping down, he gained over 200,000 followers on Twitch and 100,000 subs on YouTube. And it's easy to see why.
Watch this! I think people are drawn to Tyson because he's just a genuine person. Like he doesn't have an act or anything. Like there's a lot of content creators that have an act. The level of energy that they have on their like stream, for instance, will vary. Be like sometimes they'll be higher, sometimes they'll be lower, and that's just because like people are putting on like a front to show it. Tyson's just the same. He's just like this fucking gamer, crazy aim, talented, loves anime. Like, he's just like what gamers want to be.
But even though his content was popping, TenZ had never shut the door on a return to competitive play. All it would take was the right opportunity.
They're a stable team. They had no roster changes. They were very much like player centric. I think when an opportunity like that comes knocking, you'd be dumb not to take it.
With a star IGL in ShahZaM, Sentinels had the support structure to help TenZ thrive. And even though he only had 1 day to prepare for Masters 1, he still popped off.
The operator in the hands of TenZ. Excellent smoke, but he slipped just a hair too early. With the Blade Storm, hunting, looking for Nitro. He's gonna get it. He's got the Frenzy, and he's got a kill. Man, all up in Moose's face, and he's getting a jumping one as well on the Thief. I said this the first time I called TenZ. This is his world, and we're just living in it.
It is TenZ after all. He is looking very lethal from this position. Looking for that perfect timing, finds the one. There's the dash, looking for the second as well. The cloudburst, the pressure's coming through. The spray's good for Babybay. And now it's just going to be 2 players left for phase for this retake. Out comes the Sheriff. TenZ is showing that he has that flare as well. They smell blood, it's in the water, and they want to finish it off, and TenZ is looking to do it in style. Marv, 2 HP left. Here comes a dagger with his name on it, but it's going to be Sick who's going to get it done, and that's a wrap. Sentinels are the champions for the NA Masters here in Valorant.
They just had a really good pace of the game, I guess. And bringing in Tyson, Tyson's such an unpredictable, chaotic player. Like, he is able to make plays without anyone's help, and that's like what makes him so, like, not exciting for us to play against, but exciting to watch. He's just unique, and that's what, like, I think that's when he originally joined the team. That's like what helped them propel them into like their first Masters run.
With TenZ at the forefront, Sentinels qualified for the first Valorant LAN event, Masters Reykjavik. This time, TenZ had to prove his worth on the international stage.
A team with an incredible amount of firepower here, looking to rock the European region. This is the team, if there is one from Europe, to defeat the Titans and Sentinels. There from TenZ. There comes the first swing. There's no trade, though, at all. Well, eventually, TenZ will find it. In fact, he gets Boaster as well up on top of the structure. We'll see what else TenZ can find here as he looms above. Ever dangerous. Doma takes down absolutely everybody except TenZ. Can he find him? No. TenZ from above.
The thing is, if they use that much, then they don't have too much to take the site over, and TenZ continues to go to work.
Before they've even gotten to the site, and it just doesn't stop here. Sentinels. Another Prime Gaming flawless for them. It's been so many in this half.
But look at TenZ's position. He's in a great spot for a 2K.
And there it is, effortless there.
Doma's close, they don't know.
Oh my god, he gets flashed!
The team flash! The team flash! Magnum's in the smoke here. TenZ.
Oh my god!
Magnum's got no HP. Not like this! Sentinels! They're gonna get the defuse! They've done it! Sentinels are the Masters 2 Reykjavik champions! And they do it flawlessly. They didn't drop a single map. They have made history here, Riv, because they are the first global champions in Valorant history.
Sentinels had conquered the world without losing a single map, and TenZ led the way. He topped the charts in both KDA and average combat score, establishing himself as the best player in the world at the time. But he never let the success get to his head.
He has an ego, but egos are different. So it's always good to have an ego because it makes you confident. It's the way you like use your ego. Because some people use them and like it becomes toxic. Some people use them and they're like incredibly talented players and they just want to work with the team. And Tyson's like one of those players. He's just like using it for his own self, and he's very confident and he's really good. And that's like, it's a good thing. It's never a bad thing if you use it in the right way.
But Sentinel's time at the top wouldn't last. When Masters Berlin came around, things had changed. The meta had moved on, and their raw mechanical skill was no longer enough to disguise the fact that they'd fallen behind.
TenZ, they're all looking for it. No opportunities being found. It's traded out again. Yeah, he's there. It's all on ShahZaM, and it's over. It's done with. They say when you come for the king, you best not miss. An envy. They didn't.
But it wasn't all doom and gloom. Sentinels knew what they were lacking and what they needed to do to fix it.
The announcement is I'm not a part of FaZe anymore, and I've joined Sentinels as their coach. I'm going to be with them for their Berlin run so they could win champs. We're going to win champs. I'm excited for it. I don't know. It's just like an exciting new chapter.
When they lost to Envy, they all felt like they were just behind in the meta and they just didn't have a right read. So what I offered is I feel like I'm really creative and I was smart with like my ideas and the way I played. So the first thing I did was like, basically I helped Shaz and dapr because like I played both of those roles. Like the only feedback that I was really giving Tyson all was just like, stop buying the Guardian, save for an op. From my experience, like you don't want to coach someone like that. And what I mean by that, like you can, it's really easy, but like you don't want to change how they play or think about the game. They're at their level because they like have a read on the game. They have a read on it better than other people do. It's like, just let him do his thing. Tyson, go kill. Like, that's how it was.
Sentinels had qualified for Valorant Champions, and with new ideas and strategies, hoped to put their Masters disappointment behind them.
Oh, no. TenZ gets taken down as well. Team Liquid have done it. They have defeated Sentinels.
What resilience coming out of Liquid. They earned this win. They get the high seed going into playoffs.
As the face of the team, TenZ was taking a lot of flack.
What is EU doing differently to other regions?
Practicing. They're just like, even when Sentinels got here, like I swear, like TenZ said he woke up at 4 PM and started streaming. We just practice a lot harder and we want it a lot harder. They want to stream, we want to win.
I don't think he's like the most like hardworking, like super grinder type guy. I mean, he plays the game a lot, but he, in terms of like actually like doing like the dirty work, like going in the server, finding stuff out, he's not really like that kind of person. He does think and like wants to play outside the box. Like he's really creative and intuitively he's an insane player. I think when it comes to articulating his thoughts and like putting it into like a tangible play, it's not really his thing. He's definitely really just intuitive and has like a natural feel for the game, which is sometimes hard to play off of. You just trust him because he's so good.
After their loss to Liquid, Sentinels did have a second chance, facing LATAM side Crew in a do-or-die matchup.
There are no second chances left. The winner of this match will be going through to the quarterfinals, and the loser will be heading home.
Klaus is here. It looks like Delzic's here as well. They've got bodies on the site, but can they get to safety in time? Just about. It ain't perfect. Divide. It's a desperation call. Sick finds cNed, and the push. They're desperate to hold on to it, but it's falling through their fingers as Klaus blind. It does not matter. Sentinels 13-7 on map 1. See how long he can stay alive in this. Maybe buy a little time for those rotations. He does have support en route. Or is he Klaus? They're kind of playing by logs, but he's fallen. TenZ finds that one. Delzic now down low. TenZ removes him. And now he's found another! TenZ, Mr. Impossible, keeping true to the name, and he still wants more. He's still fighting it out for Sentinels. The reveal is made, Six got nagged it. Oh, it's a turnaround for Sentinels, and it's all on the back of Mr. Impossible himself. The pop flash for Six could be big, but he still has to wait for the timing to be right. There it is. Can he make anything of this? No, it doesn't look like it. And ShahZaM has to wait and watch his Crew are going to take us to the third.
Yeah, Klaus ready and holding though.
dapr, it's your time to shine right about now. It's all on you, buddy. Surrounded on all fronts. It's over! It's done with! Crew against all of our expectations, against all odds. Send Sentinels home!
In their final map of the event, TenZ really struggled, posting just 9 kills.
I feel like what went wrong was something that they never happened. Was they felt like they choked, and they never choked in any other event. It was like we had the right reads on exactly what to do. We just kept choking rounds. There's a lot of pressure on him, and he's super young. Tyson's so popular. Like, he has so many fans. With those fans, there's so many haters as well. So he puts a lot of pressure on himself to do well. And the problem with the way he plays the game is that if he doesn't play like that all the time, people will like dismiss him and think he's not playing well. And like, he puts that pressure on himself because of the type of player he is. It's like really hard for him to stay consistent, especially like when you play like that.
In the aftermath, TenZ's agent pool came under heavy scrutiny, but the reality was he was so good at Jett that Sentinels didn't want to put him on anything else.
He personally wants to play every agent. Like, he is not against playing any agent actually, which is like a good and a bad thing. Like, you want him to play Jett, and Jett is like super oppressive. There are maps where he plays other things. It just feels like when we were coming up with compositions and stuff like that, Jett fit most of the comps that we wanted to play. So we just ended up putting him on Jett. It's not like his choice to play Jett one trick. You want to put a player like that in a position to make plays. And like, what better character than Jett? So that's like, just how it works.
In 2022, Sentinels have struggled to compete with teams like The God and Optic Gaming, but TenZ is still dropping performances that remind us just how special a player he really is.
I think TenZ is just kind of not that great at split because his Jett hasn't looked amazing there either. I'm interested to see what development he's made on this agent.
I mean, that is a good start. Do they know that TenZ is still here? Slight angle. He finds it. Crosshair placement was excellent. The nade. It's a little bit too deep for him, but still, he will not be denied. 4 kills on it now. To find out last player, and he might just be locking up the ace. What?
He can still be the best player in the world. I don't think there's anything stopping him. Again, getting comfortable into a system where he can use and like maximize the skill set of the agent that he's playing. And so I think if he can get there, he'll just be back to where he was.